Hi, everyone, and welcome to be here. So my name is Zoe, and I'm one of the hosts for today's workshop. Well, today's workshop will be two parts. The first part is a small lecture. In that lecture, I will talk about how to build an MVP that your users will actually use. And I will introduce a so-called user-centered approach and explain why it is so important and how to do that. And the second part for this workshop is a small activities led by Xiao over there. So before we really get started, is there anyone have a question about this topic? Is everyone understand what the MVP is? It's a minimum viable product. Okay. So first of all, please allow me to introduce our background a little bit more. So me and Xiao are the co-founders of the Honeydew Design Agency, and our design agency mainly focus on to create or design the MVP or tech product for our clients. And when we're talking about the tech product, it's mainly about the mobile app or desktop application or sometimes website. And because most of our clients, they are the tech company and the product owners on their very early stage. So our mission is to collaborate them and create an MVP from 0 to 1 to make sure it's functional for the users and also launch ready for the market. So, well, I have to say, working for someone who is on their early stage, this kind of experience is very unique and special because there are two distinctly different sides at the same time. For the bright side, this journey is always very exciting because most of our clients, they are very inspiring and they're ambitious. They always have a very fresh product idea need to explore. But the dark side is in this phase, the product sometimes is very fragile. It's very, very easy to fail once it's launched in the market. So in most of the cases, the failure reasons is because this newborn product MVP is failed to attract enough early adopters, early users once it has been launched in the market. So why early user is so important? Well, if we see that from a product lifeline, it will be more clearly to understand this question. So everyone got the picture of this paper of the picture on their hands, right? It's the early phase of the product lifeline. Well, in the ideal scenario, the product team will create or design a MVP with very competitive and useful features. And once it has been launched in the market, well, because it's ideal scenario, so this product is competitive enough to attract early users adoptions. Because, well, these early users is very valuable because they are the real users for your product. And those real users will get the real feedback about your product. And the product team will conduct some production iterations based on those real feedback. And if this product team is lucky enough, they will get the valuable feedback and conduct the successful iteration product. And then it will attract more users into this product. And this loop is what we call the product growth loop. Once this tech product has been entered in this loop, we can sort of define this tech product as a relatively successful product. But if we can see that this all happened, it's all because we have a very initial starting point. It's early user adoption. So a very successful product introduction will highly likely possible to lead the user into the more successful product growth. So that's why the user-centered approach is very important. Well, I will not say that a successful product introduction is all about user-centered approach because there is so many reasons why this product team will have a successful introduction, right? But I can confirm that the user-centered approach can strongly guarantee this MVP to be popular in the user market. this is the reason why the user-centered approach is so important. And the next part, we're gonna talk about how to do that. And the first of all, I want to ask everyone here, what do you think is the first thing or first the principle for you when you really want to build up an MVP that leads to a successful introduction? Anyone else, please?
Nothing but the minimal.
That's really a good one. Anyone else?
The core value of the product.
The value of product, yeah, that's also very important.
I think an MVP that is successful would actually solve the user's main problem.
So like you need to have a very specific problem still. Okay, I think all of this is very valuable, but the one thing we think is very practical to use, just like it has been brought up before, is ruthlessly cut the product scope, which means it's because it's an MVP, it's a minimum viable product. So cut the product scope is very, very important for anyone, any product owners to start to build their MVP. But actually it's it's a little bit counterintuitive because when we talk with most of our clients, they will say, oh, I want to add this, add that. They want to add everything which will amaze their users. Well, we cannot blame them for doing that because it all comes from a good intention. Because they think if they add as many features as possible, they will amaze their users and it's probably going to lead to a better user experience. But however, the result sometimes not as good as they expect, because if you add too many things, you will create something like a chimera. It will make users like, okay, what should I do? What problem it will help me to solve? And then they will totally get lost in the MVP. And then they will abandon that. They will never use that again because they don't know how to do with that. That's the reason, probably one of the primary reasons why users will not use the MVP anymore, and the early users will not be creative. So there are 4 steps, practical steps for the product owners to really reach to the user-centered way. The first one is, of course, define user group and problem. To find your people and find your problem. I would say even Google, someone don't use that, right? So find your people and find your problems, very, very important. Find your niche for your MVP. And the second one is, because you already have your problem and your people, discover the pain points for them. The pain points, what we're talking about here is difficulties and the frustrations that the user will feel about their problems. What stops them and what makes this problem a problem? So discover pain points is the second step. And the third step is pick one pain point. Well, sometimes product owners found the right problem, and because this problem is so good, so complex, they have like 100 pain points. Each of them are real pain points, and it's very important. But just remember, we're working on the minimum viable product. So it's very important to just pick one pain point and create vision. The vision is about like, okay, what it would look like if this pain point has been solved. And this vision, it will be the ultimate goal when you design the MVP. And the last one is finding about the product itself, is to design a feature. Don't design the 10 features or 12 features for only one pain point. Just design the one that's really, really important to really solve the pain point. Just this one feature is enough for the MVP. And design a feature that can help users to realize the vision we just created. So we have an example for this. For example, like Linda, she just graduated from the university. She is 23 years old and she majored in computer science. Well, we have the people right here. this is Linda, and the people like Linda is a user group. And her problem is she is very struggle to land on her first full-time job as a developer. That's her problem. The problem is land full-time job as developers. That's her problem. So anyone can help me with it, like what's her pain point is. The pain point should be very specific. So what's a specific pain point? Why she cannot find the full-time job as what's stop her?
Her resume is like really bad.
Okay, that's a fair point. Bad resume.
Completely like wrong formatting and like
Yeah, that's very specific.
not even including email,
Mhm.
something like that.
Well, this one is very qualified as a pain point because when we define pain point, some people probably gonna say, oh, because she's not qualified. But she's not qualified is a very general pain point, right? So bad resume is really a specific one. Any others?
Place to find the jobs,
Please.
find the jobs, so like LinkedIn, Indeed,
Oh, you mean she
availability.
can't find the place to find a job? Okay, wrong things. Okay, I think this two is enough. For example, let's start with the bad resume. So let's create a vision for her. Like this step could be very simple. What stopped Linda from finding a full-time job is bad resume. Simple. She just need a better resume, right? She just need a good resume. And what can help her to do a good resume?
Find a mentor to relate.
Of course. Mentor. So this is the action that she needs to do to realize this vision. Let's just start with action first. So find a mentor. Is anyone else has any idea?
Use some AI generator to help
Yeah.
rewrite a resume.
You can, right? AI. Okay. So that's enough. That's so enough for us to just design an FAT. If we choose this, find a mentors. We can create a mentorship platform for all of those IT professionals to get the coaching or to get the trainings by us. Well, if that is the result, congratulations, we just designed the ATP list. Anyone know about ATP list? Yeah, it's kind of, I think it's biggest, one of the biggest coaching platform for the IT professionals that we can find the free coaching on the platform.
Not free anymore.
Oh yeah, that's not free anymore right now.
Yeah, they're earning money, so whatever, keep going.
Yeah. So, but well, right now, ATP list probably have got a lot of pivots, but in a very, very initial point, it's very simple. It's just a digital platform for the mentor and mentee. They can match together. Very simple. And I remember the making an appointment process is so easy, so intuitive that will make the mentee to find the mentors, which is very good for them. So that is the whole process of how to make a user-centered approach. And the first thing is about like just cut off your MVP scope. That's very easy. So is there anyone who have any questions so far? Okay, I will just skip to the workshop activity.
Then it's my time. I'll help you guys to do a little activity. I know Simon model, you guys already did something, but that doesn't like it's okay. So like firstly, it's a pair activity. So find someone you like or someone near to you.
like for Simon, or you guys can like pick another person, or you guys can keep working on your stuff. So like our first step is identify a problem and list 3 pain points. So like for this activity, we're gonna help you to create your mini MVP and help you solve each other's life pain points. So you guys will have 5 minutes.
Okay, so after the activity, we still have 2 tips that we can get. The first one is it's okay to start rough because for most of the individuals, tech startups, you don't have enough resources to really get a fully prepared user research or like the market analysis. So it's very okay to start rough. You can start with your assumptions. You can start with something very shabby, but make sure to move really fast, because sometimes when people have the assumptions, you just go too far on these assumptions and it's turned out to be a kind of product that you cannot make the pivot anymore. So make the pivot as soon as you find it is very necessary, and test the markets in a very rapid pace is very important. And the second one is even the tiniest pinpoint can grow into the powerful complex product. Well, I will take the example like Notion. Anyone remember that when Notion has been launched, it's a very, very easy, simple product. It only can allow the users to write their notebook on a digital screen. But right now, I think Notion has developed a very, very big company. It's a very unique unicorn company right now. So just don't overlook very tiny pinpoints, because even those tiny pinpoints, if you go deeper and deeper, if you discover the user's pinpoints in a very deep way, it will grow up in a decent and legit company. So that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone here.